Hey, Captain Everyman back, and before you call me a canon Nazi, I want to spin that around on you and say, rather than for me to expect canon to be so good, we ought to expect more from these writers. They're getting paid a lot of money to write these stories. And if you're a Star Trek fan, whether you realize it or not, canon is really important to you. Canon and continuity. That's what makes this show Star Trek. And without that, it becomes something totally different. So I'm really disappointed that, although I'm enjoying Strange New Worlds quite a bit, that they introduced these Gorn in this last episode of the season. Because there's a classic episode called Arena, season 2, episode 18. And think about this: the original Star Trek had 29 episodes to it. Think about how that is today. Amazing. That's why those 3 seasons of Star Trek have lasted, because there were so many more episodes in these seasons that we got quite a bit and a good taste of what Star Trek was, and it established all this and all this canon. So I've really enjoyed what Strange New World has done, because it is valid to go back and borrow from that and to use it as a platform to write other stories. One good example is Kirk's brother. Now, in the original series, we don't know anything about him, but it was beautiful to see him come back and get fleshed out and be part of this. And of course, Strange New Worlds is really a prequel to the original Star Trek show, which is why it's so important that they do take care of how they write. And so the Gorn were introduced in Arena. And in that episode, one of the key things about Arena that makes it what it is and makes it such a classic is the mystery. We don't know anything about who they're fighting and who they're going up against. And I don't want to do a lot of spoilers, but this is where Kirk has the battle where he's fighting for his life and the life of the crew. And because we don't know what they're about, that sort of creates this tension. Well, because of what Strange New Worlds does, it destroys that. It tramples on Arena. And the fact that they would already know about them really just destroys it. So there's no way you could reconcile these things, and that's what's so disappointing. You look at how they had Pike, and Pike is from the original series, and his backstory is established there. But it's fun. It's fun what they did with it. It doesn't really change anything, but they trampled on Arena here, and that is what's so majorly disappointing. And it's just too bad that they did that. Now, like I said, I don't want to do spoilers, but basically what Arena is, it's a messed up First Contact. It's really a messed up 2 First Contacts. One, and both of them end up turning out in ways you wouldn't expect. But go back and look at Arena, and you'll enjoy it. I know there's so many of these new fans who don't really buy into the fact that the original Star Trek is the foundation of everything, and really what makes everything else good and enjoyable is because they did establish it so well. So when these writers in this show go back and they do something like this where they destroy the timeline and continuity, I really see it as them sort of defacing other people's art. It's like one artist defacing the artwork of another, and that's something that's intolerable to me and needs to stop. They could have easily chosen another alien. They could have easily chosen even created different aliens altogether and told the same story, which is what makes it so disappointing. And let me tell you how I would have written this. Instead of using the Gorn and trampling on the timeline Arena, they could very easily have gone to the Orions. The Orions would do all these same things. They would come in to a colony like we see in this last episode. They would kidnap people. And why? Because they like to sell people as slaves. That's been established already in every Star Trek you've ever looked at. The Orions are even called slave traders a lot of times. So that would have done it. So, get into the comments. Please like and subscribe, and talk to me about what you think about this because I was very disappointed with what they did with the Gorn in this episode, even though I am enjoying the show very much.